Hello, welcome to Plan Weekly, July 1st or 2nd. It should be a short meeting today, primarily demos, so we can go ahead and start off with Julian.
So, let me just share my screen. Yeah, so we do have the ability to sort activities or discussions or comments in for issues and MRs, but we didn't have that for epics. Well, now we do, as you can see here. News first. Yep. So that's the demo, but I just want to make clear that so this feature itself was it's the work of Scott. It was so well modularized and reusable. I just had to add only one line to make it available here. So yeah.
Cool. It's good to know that it was quick and easy. Speaking of Scott, I'm going to ping him.
Yeah, so where is it?
Where'd Scott go? He got lost. Okay, awesome job. I will take the next one for Kushal. Okay, so I'm going to demo confidentiality icon, which was added to a few places. Let's see. Thought I had it. Yeah, okay. So it's added to a few places within the epics list. So it's actually all the way on in production now. As you can see, GitLab.com. Here it is. So this epic here is confidential. Previously, it just did not show the icon, so you couldn't really tell from this list that it was confidential. It was also added, if I click into this epic, icon was added here, so you could tell it's confidential there. That also did not exist previously. And then where it did exist was, oh, there's a lot of comments on this one, was here. It did show that it was a confidential epic, but actually said it's allowed the old copy or the copy from issue. So it said, I believe this is a confidential issue. So Kushal also changed here to say epic. That is that one. Okay, next is Simon.
Yes.
Iteration report.
Yeah, iteration report. Let's do it. So I shall demo twofold. Here's the first part of the demo, which is the actual thing. We got, just get out of the way there, Zoom. We've added everything below the iteration description here on an iteration page. So I've got these boxes with completed stats and stuff, and then a list of issues. These issues have boring titles because I haven't figured out how to do custom titles yet. With better titles, we've got the Lorem Ipsum titles in dev. They're a bit longer. I'm still figuring out column headings and some other things. That's why this is on dev, but this is how it currently looks and is mostly finished. The other neat thing in this example is this was a feature spec I wrote because I wanted some better numbers. My dev numbers are always really low, and manually creating iterations and issues and stuff was challenging. So I found out about create list in feature specs. So I just wrote, like, there was this existing feature spec for iteration related stuff, and I just thought, how can I create like 60 issues and assign them to this iteration so I can view data? So adding that, and then live debug in the test, and then you can just get this. And yeah, we can hopefully get some more realistic looking data for this kind of thing. And that is all. Thank you.
Sweet. That's exciting. It's looking good. Cool. All right. Back to me. for Kong and Yarka. The next step in Jira user mapping. All right, this one I am demoing locally, and we're already here on the page. I don't remember what it looked like last time we demoed this, but we have actual data now, which is great. So we have our Jira users here on the left-hand side, and for each one, they can change and add a GitLab username. There's an issue we're still working through on the GraphQL API to get users within a project. So that's currently being worked on. So this won't be in production in the next few days until we get that backend issue resolved. But we do have the MR for the UI here, and I think it's in UI or UX review right now. So there's that. And test through, and I don't know what happens when I continue. Let's see. Oh, it works. Cool. All right, that's that one. And the last demo, I believe, is Flory. Yep, with swim lanes.
All right, so only a small change for this week, a couple of small changes for this week. So now when we hover an epic, it actually looks like this instead of just like a basic tooltip with just the title. So I did some details, a link to the epic. If I do this, goes to the epic. And the other small change, whoops. The other small change is I updated the collapse state for headers here. And the tooltips on this are all custom depending on what type of list it is. So it works for assignees, labels, milestones, and whichever type of list it is. So this is much prettier. Like it used to use the normal collapsed state. So this is all fixed now and it's pretty. And that's it.
It is pretty. That's awesome. Cool. Nicely done. All right, that is the demo section. Lastly, it looks like, unless we have other things to talk about afterwards, I'll go through the goals for the front end team for the next week. Just really quickly, what we want to get done. First thing is add the iteration report that we saw that Simon demoed, add it to projects. I'm hoping to get that done. There's back-end work for that too, but we're hoping to get it done. Definitely 13.2, ideally. Hopefully at least make progress on it in the upcoming week. For swim lanes, we hope to display the issues that are not assigned to an epic. We're still working through the backend on how issues are going to look under epics there. So in the meantime,
I just want to clarify. I just want to clarify something about this because the backend is not ready for this. Like the data won't be accurate. So what I'm working on actually for next week is displaying some issues in there, potentially under epics as well. The ones under epics would be accurate, but the ones under unassigned could not be accurate because the backend would not be ready for it, and I would need to do some data manipulation, which would probably be done later. Like the goal for next week would be displaying some issues in there and make sure that it looks pretty and that it works and that you can scroll through things and it just makes sense when you display issues on that screen. The data may not be accurate by next week yet, just because the backend won't be ready.
So yeah, we'll say then we'll work on the UI for it using mocked issues, essentially. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. for the list view, we've been doing work to get the list view on issues over to view. Next week, we want to finish up that within projects and groups, but then also get epics, get the epics list view refactored over to view also. Last goal we have is to add health status to issue list. Since we are so close on the issue list refactor for projects and groups, we're able to now add things to that view app. So the first thing we're going to do is add the health status to it. Questions, comments? No?
Yeah, sorry. My computer wasn't working. So I just found out why project issuables list wasn't working when I turned it on. There was a response header that was put in place to get the total count of the issues, but in 11 something, I think that one of the teams decided not to send that header over if the number of issues exceeded 10,000. So pagination won't show up now. So we have to figure out how we want to retrieve that total count from the API. So that's going to block a little bit of the work, Donald.
Yeah, and there's 30,000 issues in GitLab.
Mm-hmm.
So does it work for projects that have less than that, have less than 10,000?
So yes, it should. It works locally, and then someone pointed me to the documentation. I had no idea about. So because if we turn on the groups issuables list for a group, groups will have more issues always.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think we just need to fix it.
Yeah, we should probably turn that feature flag back off.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Good news is, I mean, we probably don't have too many groups that have more than 10,000 epics, so it should work for the epic page when we work on that. But yeah, that makes sense. I think to work on to figure out how to get the pagination working first before we work on the epic. Epic list view.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anyone else have anything else? No? Short, sweet, front end heavy. It's good seeing you all. Talk to you later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.